INTLX Solutions, founded by engineers, valued for our expertise. Hello everyone, my name is Bill St. Germain, and today we'll be covering how to install Avaya Solutions Platform KVM Red Hat Enterprise Linux on an S8300E. And on a side note, this is the operating system that replaced the previous Avaya Solutions Platform lineup that utilized VMware ESXi. Let's jump right into it. We will start by downloading the ISO that will be used to deploy the ASP 6.0 on our S8300E by navigating to the downloads. Then search for Avaya Solutions Platform. Select ASP S8300 6.0.x. And we can see that we only have one option to choose from here, so let's go ahead and select that. Scrolling to the bottom of this new page, find the ASP_R6_all ISO, and the reason that it's referred to as all is because this specific install ISO is utilized on multiple Avaya provided hardware platforms, including the Dell R640, the R660XS, and the S8300E. Let's click on that and begin our download. Next, we need to burn the ISO we just downloaded to a 4 gig or larger USB stick. Documentation states that you should not use the portable version, but in lockstep with Avaya documentation, I utilized the same version of RUFUS that was demonstrated in the screenshots of the installation document. With our ISO selected, we can begin the process of copying the image to USB. You may be prompted to download some files from the internet. If so, update your RUFUS version to 4.5 or newer, or just download the file from the internet when prompted. For the ISO image mode, choose Write in ISO image mode. Does anyone else still use the term burn when talking about writing ISOs to USB? If you still have a stack of burnable CD DVDs on your shelf, let me know in the comments, because I do. Before we put our USB into our S8300E blade for installation, we need to set up our PC with certain network parameters that will allow us to connect to the services port of the S8300E blade. On our network adapter, set the PC's IP address to 192.11.13.5 with a subnet of 222.55.252. Now it's time to install KVM onto our S8300E. The USB stick is plugged into USB 1, which is located on the face of the blade. The black cable connects my PC to the services port of the S8300E, and the purple cable connects the G450 to my network switch. Note that the IP addresses which will be assigned to my KVM host are in the same subnet that the media gateway is configured to, and subsequently, all virtual machines that are built on the KVM in future videos will also be on the same subnet. With all of the required cabling and USB stick inserted, push the S8300 blade into the G430 media gateway. There are a couple of issues that our team has run into. Firstly, if you don't see any activity lights on your USB stick, it's possible that the disk wasn't burned correctly, or it's possible that there is something wrong with the USB stick itself. In such a case, try a new USB stick. In my case, even after trying a new USB stick, it still wouldn't load KVM. I saw no activity lights on the USB, and the resolution in my case was to simply obtain a new S8300E blade. I've sped up the process of deploying KVM so that you can see this as a reference for light status indication. At approximately 8 to 10 minutes, the lights change to illuminate the app, ACT, and OK to remove lights. When the OK to remove lights stay lit, it's time to remove the USB and reseat the S8300E as shown here. During this time period, the S8300 will boot, then reboot, and you can set up a ping test if you like to monitor the progress. It's now time to configure the network parameters on our KVM host by connecting to the services port IP address 192.11.13.6. We log in with custadm for the login and ACP130_PW for the initial password. When prompted, change the password, and upon completion, the terminal will close. Open a new terminal and log in with your new password. You will be presented with the EULA. Read this carefully by repeatedly pressing the spacebar until you reach the end. Then accept the end user license agreement. You will be prompted to enable EASG, then a prompt to set the root password. Next, you will be prompted to enter in all of the network parameters, including NTP, out-of-band management settings, VLAN information, server hostname and domain information, the IP address to be used to access the KVM cockpit, including the default gateway, enablement of IPv6, DNS servers, and a confirmation of settings prompt. At this point, we can see the IP address assigned to our Bridge 0 interface, indicating that our KVM cockpit interface is now available from a web browser. But before we do this, we need to make sure that we put our network adapter back onto the network and move the Ethernet cable from the services port to a network switch port that will allow access to the voice network's management network. The KVM cockpit can be accessed via port 9090, as shown here, and we enter in the same credentials that were used to access the CLI of our KVM host. There's a couple of items to review per documentation to ensure your KVM host is ready for virtual machine deployment. The first is under configuration. Verify that the performance profile is virtual host and the cryptographic policy is set to what is shown here. Next, we're going to make a change to our KVM, specifically the NTP, and to do so, you click on Administrative Access. Then authenticate with your custadm password. NTP can be changed to your own NTP source by clicking on the system time, then choose Automatically using additional NTP servers. Lastly, type in the IP address of your NTP servers. Your KVM host is now ready for virtual machine deployment, and that completes our Avaya Solutions Platform installation demonstration. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to learning with you in the next one. INTLX Solutions, empowering people, connecting businesses.